Hello. I want to give this topic its due because I think it's something that many people don't even want to admit to themselves that they're doing. And we go through this, don't we? We're going to prove ourselves to the narcissist. We are going to show them that, and I mean, I think we all go through this, I think, and definitely new people going through that first bad stuff. You might be going through this feeling where it's like, I'll show him or her or them, whatever your pronoun is, mine's him. I'll show him. I'll demonstrate why he shouldn't leave me. I'm loyal. I'm someone they can trust. I won't leave. He expects me to leave, but I won't. Right? Even if you think you should, you won't, because you want to prove to him that you won't. You want to prove to him. It's twisted. He's been left every time, poor thing, and something blew up each time in his past. I want this to be different. I'm going to win this. I'm going to show him. Especially, I think, if you're a competitive person, which I'm not. We've talked about that before. I'm all about personal best, but that's it. I've never been a competitive person with anybody. So I just don't have that thing. So, but if you are, then even more so you're going to prove to him, I would imagine. You know, I felt, even though I'm not competitive and it wasn't about winning, but I did feel every one of these feelings many times. In fact, many of the things I just said were my words, my thoughts exactly. And it was important to me because I kept thinking, okay, well, that happened. He's been like this forever. He's saying he wants to change. So I'll accept what just happened. I'll accept the excuses that he's given me. And I'll move forward with him, going with the promise of what he's now saying he's going to do for me. Because I'm sure they came up with a big elaborate reason why they misstepped. I've been doing this forever, or I didn't know I was going to fall in love. You came along unexpectedly. I was trucking along in the way that I do, but now that I want to be with you, now that I understand, and they'll go through all that. And then you'll start to think, okay, I'm going to go forward with him with this newfound way. I was determined to prove I was who I told him I was. Someone who loved unconditionally. Now, I know from unconditional love, okay? I have it all throughout, peppered throughout my life. I have parents, I have a child, I have friends, I have family. I know what unconditional love is. I've received it and I've bestowed it upon people. It's very important to me. I consider myself a loyal person. So this person messes up, and I think it's very natural, and this is the part that I want you to be prepared if you feel this, and you'll be more equipped to deal with it if this feeling comes upon you. It's about yourself at that point, I think. For me, I think I've discovered that it was about myself. I didn't know it then, but I wanted to prove to him, which would prove to myself, I am somebody who loves unconditionally. They had these conditions. Unconditionally means unconditionally, right? Guess what? No, I don't love you unconditionally. Sorry, there are conditions. You know what I mean? But you don't think that then. You think I told him I loved him, I'm going to be here for him. And guess what? You don't need to prove that. You are that caliber without proving that to him. You know who you are as a person in life. You don't need to give everything you have to prove to him that you really did love him when you said that you did. at this time. That is not what you need to be doing. You're not one to abandon someone in a righteous situation, and you know that about yourself. You abandoning this, it's not even abandonment. You saving yourself by separating from this person. For new people that are going through a separation type situation, you saving yourself is exactly that. Make that about yourself. But don't, it's like I think I was afraid of disappointing myself if I let him go, if I abandoned someone. Because all of these feelings, wanting to show them, prove to them we're incredible by demonstrating our huge tolerance, they not only are a detriment because you'll knock yourself out trying to prove to them, but it keeps us from moving on from the narcissist. We remain at least around peripherally to prove that we are in it, at least as their friend, or so we tell ourselves. That's what I did. We told them we were in it, and we're not gonna not be in it. And I think it keeps us there longer than we should. And I think we need to examine that, because I think it is about proving to yourself you are the loyal person that you are, and proving to them that you do love them the way that you said that you did. But I'm here to point something out to you. And I want you to listen to me very carefully, new people. And I'm going to rewind every topic and rediscuss everything, because I want to make sure every new person, if you don't go back and look at videos, I'm going to talk about things again, because I want, and this is one of those things. The mask came off. You have now seen them. This is their real person that is in front of you now, the faltering one. Okay? Their other one that you thought you loved unconditionally was a fake person. Fake. Like when I was 13, I loved Chachi. I wanted to marry Scott Baio when I was 13. And I wanted to marry Billy Joel. I remember. Billy Joel came later. Loved them. Guess what? Chachi's not real. Not real. Okay? I stood in line at 12 years old to get a signature from Scott Baio and everything. I really wanted to marry him. He's not real. It's the same level of fictitious character. Chachi is the same level of fictitious character as your beginning stages with your narcissist. That was not a real person. So the unconditional love that you're fighting to prove that you really meant that you had, you're fighting to prove it to somebody who's now revealed to you they are not that person. They are not worthy. Maybe that person was worthy. I call him the 5% guy. Many of you that have been with me a long time understand that. That's the 5% of him. This is 95% of him. So this love-bombing, Prince Charming 5% guy, you loved unconditionally. Guess what? That's not him. So you don't have to prove. And we go through where we feel bad. We don't want to leave them and be like everyone else they've told us who left them. They'll do that, won't they? People gave up on them. And they'll play on that. Oh, give up too. Go right ahead. Be like everybody else who abandoned them. That's what they'll say. And if it's a hot button, feel like that's a button for me. I would never, we don't like to think of ourselves as someone who would leave someone. And certainly not if they're a wounded bird. The narcissist is indeed wounded, but it's way beyond any of our expertise to affect any change, any kind of real change in their life. Okay? No matter what you do to try to prove to them. When it comes to responding to us proving to them. They will respond as if they want your care. The effort you're making, your attention, all of that, your tolerance level to what you just uncovered they did wrong. And the reason that they'll respond as if they want all this is because it's attention for them. They love these things. It's not because you're getting through to them and showing them anything. It's not because you're demonstrating your unconditional love and they're seeing the light. They're going to go along with this patchwork ending of maybe trying to work it out and the ins and the outs because they like it. They like the cycle. They like to watch you scramble. They like the game. It has nothing to do with their seeing any light. You didn't prove anything to them. And you know, it's all evidence. You doing that is all evidence to them that you're exerting the grave effort, and it's all about them. They love it, don't they? Really? The thing is, with all these benevolent feelings on your part, they're still a narcissist. They're still a narcissist. They're not a good test subject for you to bestow and prove your unconditional love. And be determined to prove it. They're not a good test subject. You want to go test yourself, go test your loyalties, discover your determination. Try to patch up with an old friend or family member that you're not getting along with. Try to get along with a coworker or something. But they're not a good test subject for proving yourself to them in any way about anything. If you fancy yourself an excellent die-hard friend, a superb human in the way of being there for a person, this situation does not in any way suggest otherwise if you were not to continue to be there for the narcissist. You can go on being all of those marvelous things to anyone in your life. In fact, don't lose those. Please don't. They're great qualities if that's the kind of person that you are. However, these qualities are lost on the narcissist. And dare I say it, a waste. A complete waste of your efforts in these regards. It's like giving a business ethics class to Madoff or Ponzi. The infamous financial crooks. They knew what they were doing. They just did it anyway. Teaching them something's not going to help the situation. They know exactly what they were doing. So does a narcissist. The narcissist knows what they did to you despite how flawless you were with them. They also recognize your flawlessness. They just don't care like you do. They just don't. Why? They're not built to care like you. And when I say you, I'm assuming you are, as a fellow viewer, a non-disordered person. If you are a disordered person, God, I wish a narcissist would watch this channel. Oh, if I could talk to the narcissist. Now that would be a treat. That would be a treat. But they don't care, as we do, and yet we try to prove to them there is a better way, a way with you, wherein they would be happy. You'll show them. You'll prove to them the way of life that you're envisioning for the two of you is better than anything that he can come up with. You'll explain to him why. I did all of this. That's exactly how I felt. And the more I learned, the more I explained when I was in touch with my narcissist, got me nowhere. They're disordered. There's nothing that they can even come back with when you present them with anything real. They won't and they can't ever care as much as we do. You can't teach them to be different, and we should save ourselves the empty effort we exert on trying to prove ourselves to them. You know who you are as a person. You can take that to the bank. It's independent of how you are with this person, because this person turned out to be not the person you thought. So your behavior with this person shouldn't be expected to be the same level that you give family and friends who get to see your superb human being loyal side of unconditional love. That's a deserved position. Right? They don't what? They're not even on the same level as your other people. So you cannot judge, make yourself prove, and that's going to make you judge yourself that you have to do that. I just wanted to bring these feelings up because when they happen to me, I think looking back now, I look into it, I didn't recognize them. You're on a train and you're just going, and I kept trying to prove and I kept trying to do things, and this is just one more reason that I think that we do that. And if I thought about that hard, it might have motivated me to stop sooner, right? That I was trying to prove to myself that I meant what I said to him, and prove to him that I meant what I said to him, and proved why. So I was wrong. I was wrong about him. I was wrong about his character. I was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong about loving him. You don't want to say that to yourself. You fancy yourself as someone who says you love someone, you're going to stick to it. Guess what? Oops. So we didn't call this one. He's not who he said he was. So that's not on you. You might have loved who you thought he was, but he's not that person. You see what I'm saying? So you got to lighten up and stop trying to kill yourself, trying to prove anything. Okay? Just recognize those feelings. When they'll creep up on you, you won't know what's going on.